The music of Bulgaria refers to all forms of music associated with the country of Bulgaria, including classical, folk, popular music, and other forms. Classical music, opera, and ballet are represented by composers Emanuil Manolov, Pancho, Vladigerov and Georgi, Atanasov, and singers Ghena Dimitrova, Mariana Paunova, Boris Hristov, Raina, Kabaivanska and Nicolai. Ghiaurov.Notable names from the contemporary pop scene are Lili Ivanova, Emil Dimitrov, Vasil, Naydenov. The state television female vocal choir is perhaps the Bulgarian folk choir best known around the world and received a Grammy Award in 1990. Famous Bulgarian artists abroad are Sylvie Vartan, Filip Kirkorov, Lucy Diakovska, Myra Arroyo, Mikhail Paskalev, Nora Nova, Vasco Vasilov. Members of the Varimezov family such as Svetanka Varimezova and Ivan Varimezov, and Ivo Papazov. Instruments. Bulgarian music uses a wide range of instruments. Some folk instruments are variants of traditional Asian instruments such as the saz or the kemins. More modern-style instruments are often used in the modern dance music that was an offshoot of traditional village music. Folk instruments. Bulgarian bands use instruments that commonly include the gaida, a traditional goatskin bagpipe. There are two common types of gaida. The Thracian gaida is tuned either in D or in A. The Rhodope gaida, called the Kaba gaida, is larger, has a much deeper sound and is tuned in F. The kaval, an end-blown flute that is very close to the Turkish kaval, as well as the Arabic ney. The gadulka, a bowed-string instrument perhaps descended from the rebec, held vertically, with melody and sympathetic strings. Also available is a bass gadulka, the tupan, a large drum worn over the shoulder by the player and hit with a beater on one side and a thin stick on the other. The tambura, a long-necked, metal-strung, fretted lute used for rhythmic accompaniment as well as melodic solos. It is somewhat like the Greek bouzouki and very similar to the tambourika family's alto instrument, the brak. The tarabuka dumik, an hourglass-shaped finger drum. It is very similar to the Turkish and North African darbuka and the Greek tubaleki. Modern professional musicians soon reached new heights of innovation in using traditional Bulgarian instruments, by expanding the capacities of the gaida, gadulka and kaval. Other, factory-made instruments had arrived in Bulgaria in the 19th century, including the accordion. Bulgarian accordion music was defined by Boris Karlov and later gypsy musicians including Kosta Kolev and Ibro Lolov. In 1965, the Ministry of Culture founded the Koprivshtitsa National Music Festival, which has become an important event in showcasing Bulgarian music, singing and dance. It is held once every 5 years, and the last festival was August 7 to 9, 2015. Instruments used in Bulgarian wedding music. Instruments used in wedding music include violin, accordion, clarinet, saxophone, drum set, electric bass, electric guitar and synthesizer. Folk music, not to be confused with chalgas, folk subgenre. Regional styles abound in Bulgaria. Dobruja, Sofia, the region surrounding Sofia, Rhodes, Macedonia, Thrace, Strandra and the Danube shore all have distinctive sounds. Some folk music revolves around holidays like Christmas, New Year's Day, Midsummer and the Feast of St. Lazarus, as well as the Strandra region's unusual Nestinarstva rites, in which villages fell into a trance and danced on hot coals as part of the joint feast of SDS Constantine and Elena on May 21. Music was also a part of more personal celebrations such as weddings. Singing has always been a tradition for both men and women. Songs were often sung by women at work parties such as the Sedenka, betrothal ceremonies, and just for fun. Women had an extensive repertoire of songs that they sang while working in the fields. Young women eligible for marriage played a particularly important role at the dancing in the village square. The dancing, every Sunday and for 3 days on major holidays like Easter, began not with instrumental music, but with 2 groups of young women singing, one leading each end of the dance line. Later on, instrumentalists might arrive and the singers would no longer lead the dance. A special form of song, the lament, was sung not only at funerals but also when young men departed for military service. Bulgarian folk music is known for its asymmetrical rhythms, where meter is not split in even beats, but in combinations of short and long beats, corresponding to the dance's short and long steps. In European folk music, such asymmetrical rhythms are commonly used in Bulgaria, Greece, elsewhere in the Balkans, Norway and Sweden. The most important state-supported folk ensemble of the socialist era was the Sofia-based State Ensemble for Folk Songs and Dances, founded in 1951 and led by Philip Koutev. Koutev became perhaps the most influential musician of 20th century Bulgaria, and arranged rural music with harmonies more accessible to audiences in other countries, to great domestic acclaim. The ensemble has now been renamed Ensemble Philip Koutev in his honor. In 1952, Georgi Boydjiev founded the group known today as the Bulgarian State Television Female Vocal Choir, which became famous worldwide after the release of a series of recordings entitled Le Mystère des Voix Bulgaries. The recording, Pilența P, can be heard sampled in the Billboard hit of Jason Derulo, Breathing. The distinctive sounds of women's choirs in Bulgarian folk music come from the unique rhythms, harmony and vocal production. Characteristic polyphony, such as the use of close intervals like the major second and the singing of a drone accompaniment underneath the melody, are especially common in songs from the Shop region around the Bulgarian capital Sofia and the Pirin region. In addition to the ensemble led by Koutev, who adapted and arranged many of the harmonies, and composed several songs that were also performed by other groups. Other women's vocal groups gained popularity, including Trio Bulgarka, consisting of Yanka Rupkina, Eva Georgieva, and Stoyanka Boneva. Some of these groups were included in the Mystery of the Bulgarian Voices tours. Trio Bulgarka were featured on the Sensual World album by Kate Bush on the songs Deeper Understanding, Never Be Mine, and Rocket Stale. In 1993 they appeared on another Kate Bush album, The Red Shoes, in the songs You're the One, The Song of Solomon, and Why Should I Love You, which also featured Prince. Asymmetric meters. One of the most distinctive features of Balkan folk music is the complexity of its rhythms in comparison to Western music. Although it uses Western meters such as 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4, Balkan music also includes meters with 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15 beats per measure, sometimes referred to as asymmetric meters. These can often be understood as combinations of groups of quick and slow beats. For example, the dance Lesnoto has a meter of 7 beats with emphasis on the first, fourth, and sixth beats. This can be divided into 3 groups: a slow unit of 3 beats and 2 quick units of 2 beats, often written 3-2-2. Each basic folk dance type uses a distinct combination of these rhythmic units. Some examples are Rachenitsa, Padushko Horo, Elino Momi, Kopanitsa, Busimis, and Pravo Horo, which can either be standard 4/4 or 6/8. Some rhythms with the same number of beats can be divided in different ways. For example, 8-beat rhythms can be divided 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 2, or even 4 to 4. This brief overview is but a simplified summary, one that Balkan musicians themselves would not use. It does not capture the full subtlety of Balkan rhythms. Selected discography of folk music. Music of Bulgaria, original 1955 recording. Early recordings of Philip Koutev and the Ensemble of the Bulgarian Republic. This was one of Frank Zappa's favorite albums, and Bulgarian harmonies reportedly influenced the harmonies of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Amp. Young, Le Mystère des Voix Bulgares, featuring the Bulgarian state radio and television female choir. This is the world hit that introduced many to Bulgarian music. It is actually a collection of recordings by various artists and groups. A group that included some of these singers toured under this name. A song from the Rhodope Mountains is Lidelu Hajitan by Balkanska, part of the Voyager Golden Records selection of music, included in the two Voyager spacecraft launched in 1977. Village Music of Bulgaria. 2 albums of field recordings on 1 CD. One of the tracks, a recording of Izilja Delio Hadjitan, was included by Carl Sagan and Andrew Yan on the Voyager Golden Record. Balkan of the Music of Bulgaria. Many of the songs are by Trio Bulgarka, one of its members. The Forest is Crying, by the Trio Bulgarka. 2 girls started to sing. Bulgarian village singing. Field recordings. Bulgarian soul. Bulgarian operatic mezzo Vasilina Kasarova sings Bulgarian folk songs with the cosmic voices from Bulgaria. Songs are arranged by the Bulgarian composer Krasimir Kiyurchiiski and accompanied by the Sofia Soloists Chamber Orchestra. Selected artists and groups performing Bulgarian music. Orthodox. The tradition of church singing in Bulgaria is more than 1,000 years old, and can be traced back to the early Middle Ages. One of the earliest known musical figure of medieval Europe, Ioan Cucuzel, known as the Angel voiced for his singing abilities, has Bulgarian origins. In the Bulgarian Orthodox Church, there are 2 traditions of church singing, Eastern monodic singing and choral. The Eastern monodic singing observes the tradition of Greek and Byzantine music and the requirements of the 8 tones canon of the Eastern Orthodox chanting. The second tradition is rooted in choral church music, established during the 19th century, when Russian choral church music began to have an influence in Bulgaria. During the 19th and 20th century, many Bulgarian composers created the works in the spirit of Russian polyphony. Today, Orthodox music is alive and is performed both during church worship services and at concerts by secular choirs and soloists. The following list shows contemporary Bulgarian choirs and singers that have a repertoire rooted in Orthodox music, classical, popular music, pop. Some of the most popular artists include pop. Folk chalga is a contemporary music style that combines often provocative Bulgarian lyrics with popular Eastern European and Turkish music. It is the Bulgarian version of the corresponding variations in neighboring countries such as Greece, Serbia or Romania. Chalga influenced folk music. This subgenre is rather a mixture of synth-pop, chalga and gypsy music with Bulgarian wedding motifs. Yuri Unikov, a Bulgarian Romani saxophonist, is one of its creators with clarinetist Ivo Papazov. The album New Colors in Bulgarian Wedding Music highlights his amalgamation of traditional Bulgarian music with more modern elements. During the communist era, some folk musicians lived outside the state-supported music scene. Without official support, wedding wedding bands were also without official limitations on the music, leading to fusions with foreign styles and instruments. Thrace was an important center of this music, which was entirely underground until 1986, when a festival of this music, which became a biennial event, was inaugurated in the town of Stambovo, and artists like Seva, Trakievsky Solista, Showman and Jusny Vita became popular, especially clarinetist Ivo Papasov. Popular pop-folk artists, jazz, electronic rap, Misho Shamara, Spence, Upsert, 100 Kila, Crisco,